Today I'm going to talk to you about 5G internet networks. Now, what do we want to get clear? Well, we're not clear on them at all because this technology, some people are totally up in arms about it, and they're saying it's too much electromagnetic radiation. And some people already are complaining about electromagnetic pollution. And they feel like they're being, well, not consulted. And even if they were consulted, they feel like they're just going to get steamrollered. Is these electromagnetics dangerous to us? Some people say, well, it's the inverse square law of electromagnetics that says that it's really not a big deal by the time that this energy gets to you, despite the fact they're increasing the number of broadcast points a huge amount. But don't worry about it. I always am concerned about your heart, because your heart has a electromagnetic field around it, and it uses electromagnetics to signal the heart to pump. At what point do all of these electromagnetic pollutions start to affect your heart? I mean, can we keep ramping up the amount of electromagnetic pollution in our cities and we're just going to absorb it and not be too concerned about it? Oh, it's the law of the inverse square. The further you get away from the antenna, the less energy there is. But it's still enough energy for your Wi-Fi signal, your data signal, your 5G signal to pick it up over a certain amount of distance. It's just a small signal. Doesn't have a lot of power, but it can be read by your... At what point do we get interference with our physical bodies? It's the law of the inverse square. You don't have to worry about it. It all gets dissipated when it gets away from the antenna. This is what I keep hearing. I keep hearing the same, trust me. These are laws of electromagnetics. Is it a fear factor? Yes. Because we are exposed to a lot of things in our environment that we know aren't good for us. The food, we always question what the hell's in the food. And then now we're going to get more electromagnetics. Why are we working to declutter our environment? The law of inverse squares. There's this electromagnetic ain't going to hurt you. It's natural in the background radiation around the planet. We are constantly mollycoddled, which means where it said, we're told, don't worry, don't worry, don't worry. Why worry? It's going to get steamrolled on you anyways. That's the truth. But people are really up in arms about the increasing amounts of autism in children, and they're blaming the vaccines when the stuff that's in there, and people say, oh, well, it's such a tiny little amount of stuff in your vaccine, compared to how much a baby eats or how much air you breathe or how much water you drink. It's just infinitesimal. It's not going to affect you. Why are there so many autistic kids? Well, Why? I'm not saying I can tie it to one thing or another, but the more pollutants you have, the more that toxic load builds on your body. Why aren't we working to really clean up our environment? In other words, we're not going to have more electromagnetic gizmos. Oh, we have to have it because everyone wants to watch Netflix after supper and there's not enough bandwidth. It's just fear factor. It's just fear factor. I can't tell you how much pollution it's going to take before people start saying, maybe we made a mistake. It still sounds like fear factor. But the thing is, here's overhead power lines, hydro transmission lines, electrical transmission lines, and the people that live close to these transmission lines blamed these transmission lines for things like cancers in their family. I mean, the houses are right there, right next to these high it's law of inverse squares. There's no way that high voltage wire is affecting the people underneath it. Don't worry. Well, they had cancers in their family. Some of them were children. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I can't prove the cancer came from that, but I can tell you that's not natural to humans. We need it for our modern society, no doubt about it, but whatever is coming and these electromagnetic things, this is not natural background radiation. This is man-made. Don't worry about it. Law of inverse squares. It's far enough away that it's not going to affect humans. Keep adding to it. You add to it, you add more electromagnetics. And then how about the residual Roundup that's in your food? I don't know how to pronounce it. Glycopholate. It's just a minimal amount. It's just a minimal. Don't worry about it. How about these transgenic plants? They're taking genes from one thing and putting it into another. Or they're saying it's plant-based, but really it's a big vat of bacteria that's produced your vitamin C. What? Yes. A big vat of bacteria. They put the vitamin C producing gene into the bacteria and the bacteria make it. I don't want to eat a big vat of... Well, you're going to eat it anyway. You bought that vitamin C. Go on. Don't worry about it. How much to worry about? You're going to die anyway. Don't worry about it. It's basically being an ostrich and sticking your head into the ground. La 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 la, nothing's going on here. You're crying wolf. Don't worry about it. It's modern society. Nothing you can do about it anyway. I don't have anything else to say because I can't prove these troubles. And I talked about microwaves being used as weapons. I was told, well, don't worry about it. It's directional. It's directional. It doesn't obey the law of inverse squares. But that's only because it's. Didn't even get this part. It's just because it's for weaponry. It's like a laser. It keeps going in one direction. But the other kind, it's omnidirectional and it's law of inverse squares. This is talking out of your ass. Because you never did any research on these broadcasting towers that are going to be supplied. You're just slapping this. Oh, this is what I learned when I was in electrical class. You never got a meter out to measure how much this is coming. Maybe some of it is directional. You don't know what the hell is in this technology. Law of inverse squares. I'm sorry. I don't believe you. I want to see a meter on this machine. This broadcast tower for 5G. I want to see a meter. I want to see what the hell is broadcasting and if it's true. Why? Because I don't believe all this shit. It's in the textbook for electricity. Are you dumb? I'm terribly sorry. You cannot take this is in the textbook and then say it automatically applies to everything. Because you didn't build this thing. You don't know where the hot spots are on it. And it's going to be all over the place. Dense pack around your house and your children. Maybe it doesn't bother you, but maybe some children are susceptible to it. Where are the tests on all these things? Why aren't they available? Oh, I don't know. I posted one. It was just a fake news thing. You know, somebody just wanted to get you riled up. I don't know what the hell meter that was. It didn't say. Shouldn't we have the right to know? Shouldn't we see these things tested before they're put into our neighborhoods? It's just the law. It's just the law.